Hello, everybody. Welcome to 21 Million. We have crazy stuff going on in crypto. I'm going to talk about it a little bit further in detail. But Brian Armstrong, the man he's taking it to the streets. That guy is in Capitol Hill now. But anyway, we'll get to that. Let's take a look, as always, let's take a look at the markets and see what we have going on. The Fed, they released the inflation numbers today, and it was higher than they expected, but lower than than December. So, and we'll get into that a little bit later in the show. So let's look at the market. So we have market caps back over $1 trillion. Bitcoin, the market's rallying right now. We have volumes about the same as yesterday, $57 billion, 24-hour volume. Bitcoin dominance is at 41%. ETH dominance at 18.5%, pretty much consistent with what it's been for at least in the last month. Bitcoin's at over $22,000 right now. Over $22,000. Ethereum's at $15.45. BNB's at $2.95. It's taking a hit. With Paxos, the Binance USD, the BUSD, which we'll talk about later also. XRP's at 37 cents. Cardano's at 38 cents. Dogecoin's at 8 cents back over. Polygon rallied up back over $1.20. Solana's at 21.76. Polkadot's at 6.20. And Shiba Inu's at whatever the hell that is. I don't know. Litecoin $95. Tron's at 6 cents. Tron did really well this bear market. It didn't have a rally like we were expecting during the bull market, but it also didn't have the bear market that you would think it would have had. It let's look at all. So it had reached a peak of about 12 cents, but it only really a little more than 50%. It lost about 60% of its value, which isn't too bad in a bear market. But also around that time, it also was pegged to a stable coin. So I'm sure they're trying to hold tight. Let's take a look at a couple others. Let's see. So yeah, Bitcoin's up almost 2.69%, 24 hours. ETH's up almost 5%. The market's doing good right now. Lots of green. We like the green, right? And let's take a look at the Fear and Greed Index. Fear and Greed still neutral. So let's see. We're gonna have to see what happens next with that. Let's take a look over at some of the charts now. So at the weekly, I think we're looking at a nice little symmetrical wedge of sorts. I don't even think we come back and retest here. This breakdown right here is the FTX. I don't even think that would have happened normally. This is, I think we're going to maybe trade inside here, go sideways for a little bit, and then we're going to see a breakout, probably April. And like I've been saying, I think we're going to see a high 40s. Let's take a look at something real quick. So let's look at some Fibonacci. So last bull market, let's go back. Let's play a little bit. So last bull market, we went down right here. And let's do something. Let's see. Let's draw a little rectangle here. Hold on, I want it to go both sides, extend right and left. Let's make that gold. Let's delete this bad boy. And let's do the same up here. I want to see a couple golden pockets on the weekly. You know, because we're talking about overall market. We're not, I mean, we're going to get down to the lower time frames, but let's be real. So it looks like we had a nice rally up. Hold on, I want to do this over again. I'm not confident with the way that I plotted this. Hold on, I'm going to do it one more time. Yeah, that's more like it. I knew it was wrong. So let's go here to here, just so we can see it better. Let's delete that. Okay. So last time during the Litecoin, right before the Litecoin halvening, we went up and hit off of the golden pocket. And then we went down. This is COVID, you know, and then we started to rally up again before the big crash, which I've been saying for weeks. I don't think that would have happened. I think we would have continued up. Okay. So, I mean, if we're talking, you know, Litecoin halvening, I think is in July of this year. So, I mean, we might see a rally like that. It's possible we could see a rally up. You know, we could see a nice rally and hit off of that golden pocket again, you know, which would put us somewhere around $59,000, which would be, you know, pretty cool. And then maybe a drawback and then another pump. So what I'm saying is something like this, a drawback, and then a retest. And then when we retest it, whenever we retest this golden pocket, we blow out of it. Okay, so when we retest this, you know, it's gonna blow out. So let's see. Let's go down a little bit. Let's go to the daily. Okay, so it looks like, so on the daily on Market Cipher, the MACD's down, coming down. We got a bull dot, green momentum dot. Okay, so usually that's going to change of momentum to the upside. I think we blow out of this. This is at the very least, we're going to test it. So maybe something like this, and then down, and then back up. Or we could just blow out of it. So something else I noticed is an inverse head and shoulders. We have a shoulder here. We have the head. Looks like we might get a shoulder here, and then we can, you know, blow out of that wedge, which I think is definitely happening. I'm still very bullish. On the weekly, not to go jump around too much, but on the weekly we have diminishing. The momentum is coming in. Hold on. Is drawing in. Okay, and I think that's going to set us off in the right direction. Well, depending if you're looking to buy more, the wrong direction. But I think it's too late. Let's go down a little bit. Let's go to the 12-hour and see how we look now. So on the 12-hour, so on the daily, sorry, bouncing around again, we didn't get one of those big green dots to signify a bottom like we did back in June of 2022. But we also didn't get it during the FTX crash. Okay, so that didn't happen. But let me just check one more thing. Let me switch over to the Heikinashi. Yeah, so yeah, no, during the FTX crash, there was no bottom dot, bull dot, the big one. So let's go down. We'll step down. Let's go to the 18-hour. So on the 18-hour, we have a bull dot right now. It looks like it tripped off on the 11th Saturday and at about 21,800, let's say. So that's interesting. I didn't notice that until just now. So that would signify a bottom. Let's go. Hold on. I'm going to add a couple time frames right now, live. We're investigating right now. Let's take a look. Let's add the 19 hour. Let's add the 20 hour. 21, 22, and 23. All right, let's see where. Oh, no, I'm sorry, guys. I made a mistake. Hold on. I did days. I didn't want to do days. I want to do hours. See, this is what happens when you go live with no plan. Hold on. But let's see. I want to see where the so we go 19 hours. 20. I want to see where the green dot stops. 21, 22, 23. All right. And let's add those to the top. Okay, here we go. Sorry. There we go. So let's see, on the 19 hour, so we have the green dot still in the 19 hour. 20 hour, still there. 21 hour, still there. 22 hour, still there. 23 hour, it's there. It's just on the daily, it's not. So that's interesting. That's pretty bullish. I'd say that you can say that's a bottom. Let's go down 12 hour. Let's look. So yeah, so same thing. We have the RSI starting to point up. Momentum's turning around. Momentum dot, bull dot. Looks pretty bullish to me now. We're still in the money. I mean, it could. I mean, we could see a turn to the downside here. It looks like the money's going to start it's got to start turning around, or it's going to break. I think we're going to turn around. The market looks pretty bullish right now. Oh, let's see. Okay. I want to go to the 4 hour and see what we got going on here. Let's mark it off a little bit. So something I noticed when I went to the market cipher on the regular candles, there was a blood diamond. Okay, and then we saw the crash. And then another one almost right away. And you don't see them too often. So I think Crypto Face says that as they print it, the closer they are, the less they mean. And now we have a blue triangle, which would mean a change in previous pattern. But as you can see here, it didn't do too much. I think in the lower time frames, it's not as reliable. Well, let's shut market cipher off. Let's see if we can see anything here. I want to go to regular. I don't want to switch over to the Heikinashi. So we could be trading on the 4 hour and maybe a channel, something like this. You know, something like that maybe. Yeah, it's better with the regular candles. Yeah, it's possible, something like that. We could be trading in here. You know, maybe we go back up and test up. So that's around 24-ish, 25 and 24 and a half on the daily. Let's go back to that previous chart that I had. Yeah, that would put us out. That would have us breaking out if we were to test the top of that channel that we see on the 4 hour. Or we also see it on, I guess, on the daily. It's possible. What do you guys think? Actually, take a second. If you're watching this, please just take a second, like and subscribe, please. It'll take a second, guys. Just do it. What are we doing? Like and subscribe. All right. Let's go down to the hourly. Let's see what we have here. Yeah, I'm not really much of a. I don't go that low. Usually I go to the 4 hour, and if I see something, I'll go down and try to confirm it at the hour. But then I try to stick higher, and then overall, I mean, I'm really a hodler. So I go to the weekly, and I like to see that it's, I like knowing that we have a bottom. And if I'm buying and I'm going to hold it, that I know that I'm getting in a good position. If you started buying, I was telling everybody, I was calling November to be the bottom. Since last year, I knew November, the fall was going to be the bottom. And if I started buying back in, I had sold probably not in the best position. I probably sold, I think, in January of 2022. I sold when Bitcoin was somewhere around 38,000. That's when I got out, and I just was banking on the fact. I didn't know that, obviously, where the top was, obviously, because I sold out at 38,000. But I did know where I thought the bottom was going to be, and I knew it was going to be in the fall of 2022. So I started buying again in October. It was my first purchase. So I started buying around here, and then straight through. But enough of charts, guys. I'm really not a charts and graphs guy. I like seeing the patterns. I like Market Cipher. It makes it easy. The link's in the comments below. I really like using Market Cipher. It just makes it a lot easier to pick the bottom, especially with momentum and the VWAP. It's a nice indicator. But there's a couple things I wanted to talk about today. The big one, which I thought is super cool. Brian Armstrong, Coinbase. Hold on a second. Coinbase ready to fight SEC over crypto staking service. So it says here, Brian Armstrong said the exchange will happily defend its Coinbase earned staking service in court days after competitor Kraken paid $30 million fine and ended its program. The comments come in the wake of Securities and Exchange Commission's announcement on Thursday that competitor Kraken would pay a $30 million penalty and shutter its staking as a service program. Coinbase's staking program, staking services are not securities. Armstrong tweeted on February 13th, yesterday. We will happily defend that in court if needed. Huge. The guy's stepping up. I actually am not a fan of Coinbase. I try to limit my usage of Coinbase as much as possible. I just don't like that they report to the IRS. I don't. And I think you should pay your taxes. I just think the whole purpose of cryptocurrency is for some type of privacy. So I just don't want to be a part of that system as much as possible. But what it brings to, which I thought was super cool also, Coinbase CEO invites DC residents over for ice cream and crypto talk. So Brian Armstrong, CEO of the United States-based cryptocurrency firm Coinbase, is looking for lawmakers and regulators to discuss regulatory clarity in the crypto space. He tweeted, I'm in Washington, D.C. and had a meeting canceled. If anyone wants to come chat about crypto, and we can get crypto legislation, regulatory clarity this year. And it's a picture with him and I guess some legislators. Armstrong's presence in D.C. followed the Securities and Exchange Commission announcing a $30 million settlement with Kraken on February 9th, in which the firm agreed to shut down its staking program for U.S. users. The Coinbase CEO argued in a Twitter thread responding to rumors that eliminating staking would be a terrible path for the United States. On February 12th, he released a statement saying Coinbase would be defending staking in court if needed. The other thing that I saw in here, hold on, I think it was this article. No, it must have been the other one. There was something on here that I thought was interesting. I think it said that they had already paid they paid a last year already a fine. So I was like, it was a big number too. I don't want to say the wrong number. It was like $20 or $30 million that Coinbase paid already. So I just think it's great. The guy he went to Washington D.C. and he's lobbying. You know, he's a lobbyist for crypto. You know, I wonder how many we have there, but he's a big name in the crypto world, and he's there. You know, he's there and he's trying to meet with them. He's probably explaining what cryptocurrency is, explaining what staking is. They have no idea. I don't think anybody knows what it is there. Because, there's no way. So, on to more news. Crypto firm Paxos ordered to stop issuing Binance stablecoin. So, this one I saw. This is on The Verge. New York regulators have ordered the cryptocurrency firm Paxos to stop issuing Binance USD. In a notice posted to the New York Department of Financial Services website on Monday, the agency says the order is a result of several unresolved issues related to Paxos oversight if its relationship with Binance through Paxos issued BUSD. Paxos partnered with Binance in 2019 to launch the token, which received approval from the NYDFS at the time. However, as Binance CEO CZ reiterates on Twitter, the exchange licensed the Binance brand to Paxos, and BUSD is wholly owned and managed by Paxos. So, basically, CZ was, wiped his hands of that. He just didn't want anything to do with that, which I don't. I guess he doesn't want to be involved. But why would you license your name? I don't know. I don't know why. They must have gotten paid money to use the name. But that's why I think. Let's take a look real quick. What was Binance Coin at today? It's at 296. It's down 10% for the week. It's down the largest out of the top 10. It's the largest. And that's probably why. That's definitely why. So the other hot news was the inflation. So Bitcoin dips after inflation comes in slightly hot. The report suggests the Fed will need to continue tightening monetary policy. So, on a year-over-year basis, however, inflation was running somewhat hotter than hoped, coming in at 6.4% based for January versus the 6.5% in December, and against predictions for 6.2%. So it came in a little higher than they expected. The core CPI, which strips out food and energy costs, which I don't. How do you strip out the most important things to people? Is food and energy, and shelter. Why don't we strip out housing? Let's take that out too. The thing that's hurting us the most with the inflation is the food. People have to feed themselves. But there was another article on Zero Hedge. About not to read every headline, but the inflation going up. The big one that I saw here, top 5 contributors to headline the CPI, rising shelter cost, obviously, rent's up. It's going to hurt people. They got to afford to live. And the other thing was the shelter inflation's up, 7.88%, and rent inflation's up 8.56%, which is wow. And also I was in the car business for 20 years. And the other big one was used car prices going up, which how are used cars depreciate? They go down. How are we having how are they maintaining or going up? It's wild. So drop your comments down below. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Be